Let me see.
Defeat Magus Journey with eLmaGus Racing. And there we go.
Oh, and we're off. Right on. Ooh, we got the Blat split. Oh man, I'm excited for this. This is confirmed to be eLmaGus's weakness.
I just hope Ponk loses now, but okay.
All right, so we've got a clear divide here. We know who everyone's rooting for.
Yep. So right at the start of the bat, you saw runner selecting wait. Basically, when you select wait on the title screen, that means your action bar will not advance when you're in your menus. So that's really helpful for the run. We'll touch more on it later. And then they also rename their characters to one letter. Each letter takes 1 frame to display, so by reducing the number of letters your character has, it's all faster.
Yeah, and we may also see them changing their controls in this menu here. I'm not sure. I don't recall what kind of... Okay. Let's see here. Oh, and no battle menu switch. Oh, it looks like they're both menu on Y players. That's interesting.
So that's basically like the new wave. There's a part later in the run, like 30 minutes in, where you have to have your menu on a button that's not the default one, that's not X. And it's a little bit faster to change it from the start. So if you're new running this game, I just recommend learning it from the start instead of having to switch a few years into running it. And switching X and Y, it's the faster one possible.
Okay, I'm gonna try to boost my mic a bit. It looks like I'm already like way high, but I'll see what I can do. Or I can try talking a little bit louder. All right.
So yeah, we get Marl here really early, and then you get Marl, and you need to basically deload the guards that are upstairs. Basically, just open the shop. If you hold Start plus B, you basically close it in the first frame, and we get to.
Ooh, yep. Both attempted the candy skip. Now Magus got pretty close.
Yep. They didn't get it. Candy skip in this particular category saves only 61 frames. You still get this cutscene on the way back. It's only really really important for New Game Plus, where you basically don't come back, because every time you come back to this area again, which you have to for every single category except New Game Plus, you get the cutscene.
Black bar. Hold on. Okay, hold on a minute.
Yep. So right now, basically, we're getting just the start of the game, the intro. What I like about this game is that you have a few menus at the start. You have basically candy skip. Then we're around the 5-minute mark. We're gonna go into a very nice skip called bird skip. We have a battle, and then we get more story. So it's not like you get 10 minutes of text mashing and nothing else. You get to move, use your menus, get your characters, etc. Just pretty fun. They're both pretty evenly matched right now. About the same pace.
Yeah, this is looking just about synced here, huh?
Yep.
Cool. And let's see, have we talked about RNG?
Not yet.
Much? No? Okay. Well, coming up right after this screen will be the first fight in the game. And both players have started on the exact same RNG value simply by erasing their save files. It actually skips initializing the RNG, so they're on value 0, and so they know which crits they're going to get, and if they play the fights out the same way as they've practiced, then they know how the subsequent fights will play out, and they can predict the crits that they will have and make the most use of that they can.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty important in order to make everything scripted. You have to follow the script to go faster. But if you miss the script, you lose time, but it's not the end of the game. The only place where you might be the end of the game, where if you lose the script, would be Masamune. Other than that, you do lose time, but it's not as bad. You do want to try to keep the RNG all the way through. So this is the first fight. This is a 3 blue imp fight. It's actually kind of a tight fight. The inputs are kind of tight. Basically, you want to have kill the 3 imps without them hitting you even once. So you want to do X right X to kill the one on the right, and then you want to do again X right X to kill the one on the left, and then you just hold X. Yep, cool. Perfect for both.
Yeah,
Oh, you see they have the same damage values and everything. That's because of what Red Slash is on the same RNG seed. They'll be getting everything exactly the same.
Here is a pretty major skip. Okay, they both got it. They both spent about the same amount of time on it too. That's great to see. Yeah. So if you walk just a bit too far, if you just walk 1 pixel too far left on that bridge, you'll get into a fight. So they want to be 1 pixel short or 2 pixels short, and then run straight up. So it's kind of a tense moment, and we'll see actually a couple more of those.
Yeah, we see it later on. We see it 3 times in this category. So now we're back into the castle. Again, here's just more tech smashing, basically advancing the story. They're pretty even. I'm glad they both got bird skip. If you miss bird skip, you'd not only get into the fight, which is, I don't know, 10-15 seconds, but you also have to do the next fights differently, and you lose even more time. So it's in overall it's like a 30-second time loss, which for the start of the race would be kind of bad.
Yeah, there are some, I guess, not backup strats, but what do I want to say? Contingency strats, I suppose. If you get into that situation, you can still predict your crits, but you just have to play it a little differently.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're still going to end up losing time, though, of course.
So one thing people might not know is that you see Chrono Trigger and you see RPG, you think this game might have a lot of RNG, but in this category, the amount of RNG is so small that it's basically an execution test. Overall, there's maybe at least 40 seconds of true RNG in this category. The rest of it can be manipulated, so that's something that makes this game great for racing. You'll never see the guy that played worse winning, because it's truly an execution test, not like, oh, this guy played worse but he got 0 encounters, and this guy played really good but he got 10 encounters. So that's what I like. I like this game so much.
Yeah, see, it's avoiding encounters isn't too hard until you start trying to cut them really tight, and then it starts getting riskier. But so I'm curious, for example, how tight Magus will take some of the skips.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think he's practiced doing them somewhat optimally, so
yeah,
he might just be gunning for it. So anyway, this will be. I mean, see how his playstyle will be here.
It's Magus we're talking about. He always goes all in.
Oh yeah.
So the intro's nearing the end now. After the intro, we're gonna go into the forest, and in this category, you might think there might be a lot of grinding, but this next 2 fights we're gonna do is all the grinding you're gonna see in this race. They're two pretty quick fights, and the reason we do them is because we need to get fire. Flame Toss and Cyclone to do Fire Whirl, and then Nuggets. Without the Fire Whirl, the fight would be basically impossible, so...
Yeah, I can confirm that. When I was here we go, we got another quick right, X right X input. Okay, good. This fight's playing out well for both of them. Yeah, so I had a story about this. When I was a young speedrunner in my first local marathon, I was at this point in the game and decided to just run straight through the forest. Totally forgot to fight these guys for fire. I realized just as I got into the Naga head fight, and boy, at that point, I didn't really know what to do. So I tried to just play it out without fire, and I died.
Yeah.
Just prolong the fight. Yeah, it's impossible.
So in this fight, you're gonna see. Well, you already saw. Basically, they waited until both characters had their turn, and then they had Chrono kill one of the rollies, and then Luca attack the same one that died. What that basically does is a little RNG jump, and that jump will make us land on the RNG we need for the nuggets. They actually did it as well in the first fight. We do it twice in order to get the RNG we need, because there's 2 ways the RNG can increase, if I'm not mistaken, by attacking enemies and by getting into battles. So we tried to just play around with that and try to get it optimally.
Ooh, let's see, so Ponk triggered this fight a little bit high up in the room, and so he had to get more of a camera shift downward. No, Magus didn't get quite as much of that. So it's a pretty subtle thing, but the camera shifting does come into play. Otherwise, this fight is looking very equal. Ponk finishing off this last Naga out with a missile. Or a flame toss.
Yeah. Yeah, I did make the timing for, instead of running completely straight, going up and then down, optimal, and it's not even 30 frames. But it's a small time difference. And it's something that you're gonna see a lot in this run quite a bit. I don't know if these runners will do much of it, but basically when you enter a cutscene, you want to have your characters as closely together as possible. So once you exit the cutscene, they get closer together. Just little things. It doesn't save that much time. Maybe like, I don't know, 5 seconds throughout the whole run, but it adds up.
Yeah, for sure. I think probably even more than that is the mashing rate that you can pull off. Someone mentioned that. But I think Ponk seems like they're on. Seems like they're on equal ground mashing wise.
Okay, Magus got the revive. Ponk didn't get the revive. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. He sometimes picks it up, but I think he's been trying to skip it. So
yeah,
interesting.
I like that. I never pick it up.
Word.
Okay.
I think there's no reason to skip it, but okay. So Ponk.
Oh,
hey.
Magus failed.
Oh no.
The fatal glitch. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain what they did there. Basically, they did what's called the fatal glitch. So if you enter a loading zone, it takes a while for the loading zone to take you away. So if you open the menu and then close the menu, you can basically reload the timer of the room taking you away. So you do that multiple times until you get the power tab, and then it takes you back to the start and you don't see the cutscene. If you do it optimally, it saves like 1 second. So it's a small time save. But you're gonna see it ahead. We're gonna do it. That combined with standing on the save point, then we're gonna get the save anywhere glitch, which is gonna be really important throughout the run.
Ponk had some kind of cool movement on the right side room there. He jogged over to the right side of the bat. I haven't really seen anyone do that. I never thought about it before.
Punk's pretty good.
He has a very strong early game, and it sounds like his mid game's been shaping up too. But he's been doing offline runs lately, so I haven't been able to assess. But this is basically kind of the same environment as doing an offline run. You're not having to interact with chat as much.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tough game to remember everything you need to remember and still interact with an audience. It's because there's just things that aren't quite muscle memory. Just remembering when to do menus, and things like that. Remembering to enter a room, storing a fade out, so forth. So
Ponk didn't do a safety save. Why?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so.
Oh, baby.
Okay, so basically they both do the fatal glitch. You should do a safety save before in case you miss it, because if you fail it, you basically lose 14 minutes.
Oh,
Ponk didn't do it, but he got it, so it's fine.
Confidence.
Jeez. And I mean, you can think you're really... Magus didn't do it either, I just noticed. Okay.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Okay.
Please. And you might think, oh, this is easy, I've done it 1,000 times. I haven't missed this in 2 years. But you can miss it. Last tournament we saw, I'm pretty sure it was Kehanort miss it during the tournament race because of no safety save.
See, the thing is, if you don't do a safety save, you have to wait a little bit extra for those henches to step down away from the door, or you're liable to run into them before they've given you enough space. So it's even more risky in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
But, whew. Okay, I'm glad it worked out. Hey. And so Ponk looks like he's still in the lead here. Yeah, he is. Right on.
So we have a 15:30. 15:3x Magus. Magus Yakura's really good time. I think really optimal time would be like 15:14 or whatever. But 15:30 for a race, it's a really good time.
15:14? Yeah, that's like CK tier.
Yeah.
I've never had anything like that.
Well, no, neither have I. Don't worry.
What did we say, Magus or Yakura?
I said Magus first, and then I corrected myself.
One of those two, you know. So here in Marl's room, they've both kind of approached this trigger. The trigger's on the stairs there, but they approached it from the top, so that after the end of this dialogue, the characters will bunch together faster.
Yeah, you can see how Marl's already on top of Chrono.
Okay. Yeah, and those were really good Yakura skips for both of them. We didn't really talk about what was going on there, but we can. So basically, they ran into the room and saved, and when they reloaded, they were able to move around, and as long as the fight starts and Yakura is off screen, the game will think, okay, there's no enemies in the fight's over. And that's really all there is to it. There'll be another instance of that happening less than an hour. There's another boss skip.
Yeah,
it's
like
kind of the same principle.
Yeah, like 35 minutes from now.
And now they still have the save anywhere active, and they're able to save here. They climb up the ladder first because the default fight that is loaded in this room is this bird fight on the bridge, which is skippable. Ooh, Ponk? Okay, so I got it mixed up. eLmaGus kind of did a little bit faster version of the reverse bird skip. He went over closer to the trigger and walked up and then went straight to the right. Not too much faster, but that's a small optimization that's come about during this tournament. Everybody used to just run straight up at first. Anyway, the bird fight is what loads by default, and there's a trigger at the top of the ladder that switches out the bird fight with a rolling and in fight, which is not avoidable. And so they wanted to cross that trigger first, then reload the room, and then skip the bird fight. And also during that reload, they waited a certain amount of time. The RNG is for this game is seeded when you load a game from the save file menu. It's the amount of frames that you spend on that screen, and it's divided up into windows. And on average, it's about a quarter second per each window. The one that they loaded into right here is actually more like a half second, pretty large. But they specifically want that window to kind of manipulate the damage roll they'll do on this next enemy. They're going to want to hit him for exact damage. And so that combined with Chrono equipping a sword and exactly 2 power tabs, they'll be able to accomplish that.
Yep. Yeah, we had a question in chat. Yeah, they're both playing in the SNES version. That's the fastest version. You can play on emulator. That's the same as the SNES version. Then you have Wii Virtual Console, which loses some time. And not all the strats work on Wii because whatever reasons. Then you have the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of a it's not so great of an emulator for Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Because it has some ATB issues. But more than that, problem with VVC is it has some somewhat frequent crashing issues for this game.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why we try to discourage anyone from playing on that one too much. Here's the trial. So, okay. It's gonna be... They're gonna both have the same outcome since they both pretty much did the fastest thing they could do in the fair. And the jury will make their decision based on those actions. Except for one of the jurors. Oh, and another thing that determines them is how you answer these questions. And they're gonna be wanting to pick the second choice for all of them. And that gives them a chance to get the guilty verdict, which will save them about 5 seconds. Because the second juror is basically 50-50 random outcome.
Yep. It's only the second one. And this is the first part of real RNG that, we can't really control. Well, you can't control it in the fair, but it's faster just to do this and leave it up to RNG. And yeah, it's like 5 second difference, 5 to 6 seconds. But not too big. So here comes Ponk with a nice guilty.
Okay,
so
there we are.
There we go.
He's
and
in there.
Magus with a nice guilty.
He's in there too.
So yeah,
Right
they both saved those 6 seconds. They're both on equal ground.
Okay, well, I think the second juror acquires like a set. I think it's determined by
the cat.
The cat? Rescuing the kitten?
Yeah, you have to rescue the kitten. If not, it's basically determined which frame you close one of the cutscenes.
Yeah, if you never interact with the kitten, then it's indeterminate. That's right, I forgot.
Yeah, if you play this casually on you do the kitten, you're always gonna get not guilty. If not, it's just random.
Alright, so we're gonna get some quick justice served here, and we'll be off continuing the gameplay.
Yep. The Cardia prison is known as the only prison that lets you bring your weapons into the cell, so...
I have some lore about that, actually.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, I'll let you...
Okay.
I'll let you see the visual for it. Yeah, so here... Execution is 3 days away. Yes, sir. So, that's the fastest outcome there. Otherwise, the supervisor would like protest, like, oh, I haven't heard such a thing going on. Are we gonna see a safety save? I'm gonna guess no.
I'm gonna guess no.
Oh, okay, we got one.
Okay,
interesting. So right here, Chrono, he kind of pulls on the bars 3 times. And so, in my view, that is what he's using to as his weapon now. He yanks one of the bars off at the gate. What do you think?
Maybe. You might be onto something.
Alright, we got the 60 roll for both. That is great. Ponk is just a little bit in the lead still. Ooh, he lines up. Okay, they both lined up that shield very fast. I think look at this. I think they both missed collecting the door their first try there. That was neat. So this is a pretty long fade across the bridge. Oh dear. Okay, so this is a very big RNG point. Ooh, they're waiting for that guard to face right, which is, it's totally random.
Yeah.
And wow, what did they? Wow, this is like exactly the same. Oh, look at this sync though. I love to see that.
25 minutes in.
Hmm.
Wow.
Holy smokes. Okay, Ponk. I'll pull a little bit ahead there.
Please do the one fade, Ponk. Come on, no.
You got it.
No one fade.
Did he not?
Nope, Magus did get it.
Okay.
Yeah. So Magus saved. You can do only one fade out to skip that fight. Saves like 2 seconds.
I think he went for it. I'm not sure. It's pretty tough to get it.
And then the Dragon Tank fight. This is the first fight where you're actually gonna see the RNG, the power of the RNG. You're normally supposed to kill the body first and then the head at the end, because the head, just heals everything. But with the RNG we have, we're just gonna basically destroy everything. Just crit in the head until he dies. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, the head has got 600 HP, so it's pretty tight to defeat the head before he gets into another round of healing. He'll heal twice in a row. You're gonna see the second heal right here, and then he'll do some fireballs, and then you'll get right back into healing again.
And then one thing is, you want to do your attacks during animations. So you want to wait until Dragon Tank is in an animation to do your attack. That lets you the fight go the same every single time. The damage rolls the same, everything.
Yeah.
And here they're gonna do a neat little thing. They're basically gonna do their cyclone. Well, in a second. You're gonna wait for Dragon Tank to attack, gonna do a cyclone, then they're gonna wait in Lucas menu, close it, and then open it again. And they put the flame source, and that basically, for whatever reason, skips a Dragon Tank attack. So it's pretty nice, and it saves around 4 seconds.
Yeah. So they just defeated the head with the cyclone. Normally, the head actually will counterattack in response to being cyclone. He'll counter by healing himself, which is not necessarily obvious your first time playing it, or even your second time. You have no idea why it's healing so much, because there's no real indicator that it's countered.
Yep.
Pretty cryptic fight.
So, Red?
Yep.
We had sub 2730 Dragon Tank for both of these runners.
That is crazy.
So good.
Wow.
You get a little bit text skip here. Yep, you run close to the card, you skip your text. You can do that either on the right side or the left side.
Oh,
Ooh, with a nice cherry jug.
Cherry jug, look at that. Great job there.
So you can basically see how Luca is closer to Chrono in Magus' screen than to Ponk. Luca runs really slowly when you try to exit the screen. So you should always try to do it as slow as possible. And then at the end you try to do what I guess the Redlash named the cherry jug, which is basically run back and forth so she gets closer to Chrono. And then that saves. If you do it perfectly, it saves maximum of, it's like 50 frames minus whatever time it takes you to do it. So it's like 30 frames you can save in total, if done perfect.
The cherry jug science. Thank you. All right. So these runners will never see castle again in this category.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, castle. And now we're just about heading into the future here, which I think this is one of my favorite segments coming up. The whole future.
It's my least favorite segment. So
yeah, it's not much to look at. It's a little bit depressing, but I think it's my favorite section to get over with quickly. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
I like the fact that we can get it done fast.
It's very technical, and I do love lap 16. I don't like Stone. I don't like those bugs. I think they're the worst room in the game. And I'm gonna die with that. So yeah.
The bugs, eh? Yeah. Yeah, so here. So Ponk picked up Chrono Trigger specifically for this tournament.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was telling me, you know, he thought it was just gonna be like an RPG experience. You know, he's coming from a Super Metroid background. But he was pretty happy that there was like this kind of movement factor in it. But, like, this is kind of a platforming section right here. And they're trying to. There's these rat cycles going on. Oh, okay, here we are. And so what's happening is that they're getting robbed by the rat, keeping that dialogue open, and that lets them cross fight triggers without getting in the fight. Basically, cutting corners with that dialogue open. And that was great. Great couple screens for both of them. Magus did get the earlier cycle, it looked like, but Ponk not far behind.
Yep. So here's Iris Dome, which I said is my least favorite part of the run, and you're gonna see why. But first, we're gonna get into this very nice. It's just a basic boss skip. This is the Guardian. So in the Guardian room, if you press the X button, you basically trigger a fight. So the game basically sounds this alarm. If you press the X button to open the menu to save or whatever you want to do, it triggered a fight. So basically, both of these runners change X and Y at the start of the run. They don't need to worry about that. The game doesn't change for you to open menu. It only checks for X. So they'll just fade out glitch to the end. The trigger takes them out, and then they just go back in.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple boss fight, and this one little square room is the reason that they switch controls at the very beginning. Otherwise, there'd be no reason to. It's kind of as if the devs anticipated you opening. Oh my God! Magus did swag robots. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I didn't know he goes for that. So eLmaGus, as he was leaving the room, he did press X.
Yeah.
As the room was fading out, after he hit the door transition, and the robot fight started to appear.
Yeah. So if you do that too early, you basically trigger the robot fight.
Oh yeah.
Ponk is the rat.
Oh man. Yeah.
That's like a 20-second time loss. You can get it right here quickly.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. At least you don't have to run the whole track again.
Yeah.
I didn't see what Magus did in the bug room. But
Yeah, it was just normal boss, not the fastest. Going really fast in this bug room, doing the optimal cycle saves a little bit less than 1 second on each, like on the way in and on the way out. So, it's pretty easy to mess up. I don't go for it, and never. I don't find it worth it, but I know that a lot of people go for it.
it's pretty risky. I mean, I really think there's not much reason to go for it, but
yeah,
it's fun to practice. It's fun to show off.
Of all the things that could have made the difference, it was a rat.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And then this cutscene, you basically want to fade out until the cutscene triggers, but you have to come back in and watch the second half. Basically, what you skip is the whole screen with levels appearing and the world being destroyed. So you skip all that. Now you just get the ending, and then you can just leave. But you have to watch that second part. I've been there multiple times where you don't watch the second part, you just leave, and then hey, why don't I get the continuation item? Well, there you go.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was referring to when I say that this is kind of a tough game to be interacting with chat or having any kind of distraction, because it's a very subtle little thing you can forget, and they're all over the place. And you could even accidentally run up into the room and forgetting to fade out. You watch. The consolation mid-cycle rat. I think he waited a little bit extra for it, but
yeah,
that was great. He went up and over that rat at the end. Right on. Blat.
So we got a few viewers here. So I've been saying this for 4 years now. If anybody finds a way to skip Iris Dome, I'll give you $100.
$100. Wow.
And it used to be 25. It went to 50. It's 100 now. Full Iris Dome skip, $100. $200. $200. If you manage to skip Iris Dome fully in the run.
Okay. Wow. Holy moly. Back when it was 50, I was on board to match that. 200 is a little bit much, but I'll get back to you.
Yeah, so there's a nice little thing where you can actually beat the Johnny race without racing, but you need to buy key, and yeah, that doesn't skip Iris Dome.
Yeah, there's no reason to go into the dome except for that key.
So we have the Johnny race. Yeah, this race is basically rubber banding on its finest. Basically, when you want to do save time is you want to bonk on top of it. That gives you more speed. The more you bonk, the faster you go.
Yo, Magus with a great opening here.
Yeah.
He hasn't dropped one yet. He's got this combo going. Oh, baby.
Okay.
Oh.
We good. Fine. A good point, like decent points for a race or good points would be like 1,500. More than that is really, really good. I know Red gets like 2,000 every time.
Magus is capable of that too.
Yeah. Okay, that's a pretty good rate.
He decides to play it safely at the end.
So that's a little bit faster than what Punk's playing. Punk's just playing it safe, just not bouncing behind him, just drifting like that. But you can see the point difference. It's almost going to be like 1,000 point difference. And that's going to amount to, I don't know the exact time, but maybe like 3-4 seconds.
Yeah, if you do a bunch of random bounces off of him, you might get in a weird cycle at the end of the race where it's really hard to boost and stay ahead of him. But Ponk has a sure pattern that he follows.
Yeah.
So it's a sure thing that way.
This bugger fight for eLmaGus it's a pretty simple fight. Basically, you put Berserker on Marl during the Guardian cutscene, and she gets 2 crits. So she kills 2 of the buggers. You're gonna see it on Punk's screen right now. Then you just attack and flame does 1.
Yeah,
pretty nice.
It's really bad if Chrono dies in this fight, but he should never die as long as you're fast enough with that attack and that flame toss.
Yeah, you can see he has 10 HP. So. But yeah, the timing, it's a few seconds. It's not hard. I don't think I've ever seen somebody failing there.
I mean, so if you do the thing where you wait for Luca's turn
for the flame toss,
it's a little bit risky. You can also just attack immediately and mash for Luca. That's the safest thing you can do.
Yeah. So here we're gonna get our good friend Robo.
Good old Rob.
And we're gonna see if they rename it. So Robo is in this category. Renaming Robo saves basically no time. If you do it perfectly, you do save a little bit of time. So let's see if they just rename it or they leave it the same or they put Bobo or Rob or whatever. And enjoy the music, by the way. Robo is actually... he's pretty good for this run. He's now used in the Masamune fight. He wasn't used there before. But after Magus, actually he's not used pretty much at all in any of the categories. He's only useful up to Magus, basically. He gets outclassed later on.
So, in Chrono in Chrono Trigger, the level that characters join at is always set. So that's really, they don't scale with your current character's level. So that's really nice for the speedrun because you're basically guaranteed to have if you keep advancing, you'll get stronger characters. Pretty much rely on them to get through fights fast.
Even the characters that you don't have in your team, they do get 75% XP, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's quite a bit. You don't have to be switching them in order for them to level, uniformly. They will gain the XP and they will level up. Yeah.
So you probably heard, and it's probably a common opinion that Chrono Trigger is fairly easy for a JRPG, and I think it's exactly because of things like that. Characters outside the party gain 75% experience. Even Frog right now is gaining 75%.
Yeah, and he's not even outside the party.
Yeah.
So we're coming up onto the only major section of RNG this run. Coming up, you can see the Magus screen. You have these enemies called acid and alkalines. Well, when you go down the stairs, depending on which frame you go down the stairs, you get a certain fight. That fight has 60 different variations, so one per frame. And basically, depending on the patterns you get, you can actually save a lot of time or lose a lot of time. We want to get 5 greens, or as most greens are possible. The thing is, if you get more greens, the greens, if you attack a green that's close to an orange, they counter-attack. So that's like the
trade. 5 of a kind here. Ooh, only 4 of a kind.
That's really good for eLmaGus. Wow. Okay. He's doing the flame toss on the greens. He's probably gonna rocket punch the one on the left. Yep. Really good pattern for eLmaGus. The greens ones have really low defense, so that's really good.
West orange.
He's just gonna cyclone there. Yep.
Ooh, baby.
This fight's great. Let's see what Ponk gets.
Not bad.
Not bad because they're separated. I would just.
He's got
I would do. And then Ponk has to hope that Robo gets good damage roll with his rocket punch. Not too bad of a pattern, but Magus, wow, that was.
Okay. You got the one-shot rocket punch. That's good to see.
Yeah. Ooh, Ponk with a one enemy cyclone.
Control a little bit.
Oh, look at crit.
Okay, let's see here.
1, 5. Are you kidding me? That's the lowest possible damage roll for a rocket punch, and if this cyclone doesn't kill, he's gonna get killed again. Each counter loses 6 seconds.
That green looks pretty far away. He might be okay.
No, he hit us.
Right on.
I would just do one more cyclone here. He just okay.
He separated real quick and then banded back. Oh,
double. Wow. The bad part about the oranges is that that 5. Okay, good. But the oranges have really high defense, so we've both seen fights where people just get 7 or 8 once in a row. And there's really nothing you can do about it.
For that pattern, that could have gone a lot worse. So,
yeah.
Okay, we're through it. He does need to heal up.
Yeah, Magus did pull quite a bit ahead with that pattern, though.
Okay, so... And did Magus heal up?
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to, but it makes the fight just a little bit safer.
Yeah, especially in a race, I would always recommend healing up before this fight. And then you have the R series fight. This fight's actually pretty dangerous. You have so basically when we got into the acid alkaline fight, since the patterns random, or almost random, we can manipulate it, but it's pretty hard. So it's not really worth going for it most of the times. But we don't know which RNG window you're at. So basically the timing you might have to, in order to use your cyclones in this fight, might be more or might be less. So if you're a little bit slow and you get bad RNG and little time to input your cyclones, you might get hit and you might die.
Yeah, and dying is pretty punishing in terms of how the rest of the run will go, because you'll be missing out on 480 experience.
Yeah,
which is pretty bad for either Chrono or Luca to miss out on.
I think that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, you have to return to your past save, which it's like 7 minutes behind.
Yeah. Yeah. See, as long as I use the mid-tonic strat. Oh, yeah. Magus did not heal up. I don't think he did.
No, he did.
He's at his...
122, that's max, right? Because you gain 2 levels after this.
We'll look at what Ponk has.
Yeah.
But yeah. Use the mid-tonic strat. This fight is a lot safer. Magus is not using mid-tonic.
It's Magus doing the warrior. Oh no.
Oh, he better use it. He's in his Lucas menu.
Yeah. So he waits there so he can input the cyclone while Lucas using the metallic. That's really smart.
Yeah. So if you're just a little bit slow, that back row will get 3 more tackles than on you. Up to 3. Usually 3.
Have you seen this time? Magus is playing insane.
Yeah, he is. I'm pretty nice.
45, 20, 2 hours to use. This is sick. Just for reference, no, low 45 is extremely good. I don't know what your world record has, right? Like 45 or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
have we seen 44 yet? I don't think so, right?
Not on US, no.
Okay, well, so we haven't.
Okay, Ponk is in there. Great, good. Not
Okay,
even
Ponk.
one extra move. He's gonna use a.
I don't know.
Which he won't be able to set flame toss at the end of it, but
I don't
it shouldn't
agree
be a
with
big deal. It shouldn't matter, really.
Well, this cost me the race, my loser's race against Ponk actually. I forgot to set Luca to Flame Toss, and then I got the Marl crit in Hecarim's Cave. So I just didn't have anywhere to set her, and I just phased out, and when I got to Masamune,
So are you
it basically screwed me over.
Are you saying that was a taunt that we just saw from Ponk? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't put it past him.
Oh, alright. So eLmaGus has just arrived at the end of time. We're going to be seeing this place a few times. So here we're going to have to leave, well, one of our characters, which is too bad.
So basically here for Magus, he's gonna want to keep Luca and Marl in his body and basically learn magic with them, because Robo doesn't learn magic.
Yeah, you don't need...
You do.
No. You don't.
Red.
You don't need magic from Marl, but it is a lot slower to bring Robo into this cutscene.
Yeah.
There's a lot more dialogue about how he can learn magic.
As much as I love Marl, I brought that topic up last month, I think. And I timed it, and yeah, it's not worth. Because you don't really need Marl magic. You can just do the Fireball strat in the Reptides in 65 million PC. But yeah, bringing Robo here is slower than just bringing Marl, so...
Yeah, I think they will both use Marl magic for that antidote, but we'll see.
Yeah, they learn magic, and then Magus has to do the hardest skip in the run. It's called Specule Skip. So we're gonna see if he gets it.
Plus RNG.
Plus RNG, and... drumroll. Perfect.
Alright. No magic tab.
So I have a question. I've never seen Magus as an endpoint for a run. Why is it used? So Magus is just the official race category. It's just a shorter category that I think we basically created as a race category in like late 2014, early 2015, when the any percent run was over 3 hours. And this was just a shorter racing category. That's all there is to it.
Yeah,
it's
back
like
at that time. Back at that time, Magus was closer to the midpoint of the run. Now it's a little bit more than midpoint, but
yeah,
still.
Yeah. Also, the nice thing is, all the categories are basically almost the same up to that point, aside from like maybe 5-second differences. So you can just learn Magus RTA for racing, and then you can decide what you want to run after, which is pretty fun. So Magus goes into the Hecarim Cave.
we didn't comment on his cake skip, but
we can comment on the one Punk's gonna do.
yeah. So there's a pretty lengthy little scene here, but there's a trick you can do called swapping your party right here, which gains you back control of your guys, so you can move around. And you can actually move around during this dialogue. And another effect is it heals you to full. So it's kind of good. Okay, so let's see what Ponk does here. If Mono gets a crit or not. Okay, no crit. So
yeah, he's gonna have to set the crit here. Magus is doing a failed glitch to skip a fight here.
Yeah, I think this is where I switch Robo in for the post-Hecarim scene, but I think it's a little bit slower. I think you get a little bit more lag. You get a little bit more lag.
Yeah, it's a little bit more optimal to switch it right here where Magus is fading out right now. Yeah. And basically what Magus is gonna do here is he's gonna stand the save point with the fade out, get the save anywhere glitch. He's gonna save here just in case he misses it. He's gonna do release B. We haven't talked about release B too much, but basically he's gonna have to walk a certain amount of frames and then run forward a certain amount of frames in order to save past the trigger. Yeah, he missed it. That was early. That looks fine.
That looked early to me. Let's see.
Red versus Jerry.
Oh, okay.
Jerry wins.
And you gave Hecarim a little tap there, and so this is very similar to the Yakra skip. Save point right outside the room and everything. But this one is just a little bit tighter because for the Yakra skip you can save on top of the trigger, and it'll work. But this one you actually have to get all the way past the trigger. Oh, we got the audio change. All right.
No, it's still decent. I'm sorry.
All right.
I was just testing because I went to Magus stream and it's fine there. But yeah, I don't know why. Oh well, we'll keep Ponk. Punk's doing the Hecarim skip now. Let's see if he goes for new Hecarim or old Hecarim. Oh, he's going for new Hecarim.
Okay.
Ooh. Perfect. First try. And now Magus is going for what's basically my favorite glitch in this run, which is end of time saving. This was brought into the run by Ottavino in late 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Ottavino? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was the one. I remember he was him. I don't remember when. Might have been early 2016. Basically, you keep the text box, open the menu, hold A in order to get the pillar. And you stand at a certain position, walk back to the healing bucket, press A, and then you want to pause buffer to a good frame. That owes good frames.
And then just like the cake skip. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then once you have a good frame, you basically you pause buffer to it, then you hold start and A on the same frame, and that's gonna let basically give you a good frame. And your characters are gonna start zipping to the top left. And in this case, you can basically change your team and move in the middle of the zip. And then if you stand on top of the save point, you're gonna get the same effect as the save anywhere, which we lose every time we enter a zone that has a save point. That's why we have to do it again.
Yeah, Chrono's basically he's got his arms wrapped around the heal bucket.
Yeah,
holding on for dear life so he doesn't zip. So it's down save point.
Magus failed bird skip.
He did, but it's not a big deal because he doesn't have RNG to preserve at this point.
This is the only bird skip in this run that doesn't really matter too much. I mean, it's a 10-15 second loss, but it doesn't matter too much because we don't have any RNG as red to preserve. Ponk got a good frame. Ooh,
he might have
probably missed
a little bit
start in A.
Dang, End of Time Saving has been trolling Ponk like none other.
I recommended he went for the tap start again in order, if he can pause again, that means you didn't get it, but yeah, it's been trolling him pretty much. That sucks.
See, the thing is, the only recommendation I really have is to just, it's just how it goes, and you just gotta let it go. Because if you start thinking about it is kind of a big, decent time loss. but you gotta keep focused on these next tricks coming up here because they're pretty precise. You just gotta keep your head in the game, which is kind of hard to do. Things can kind of start to snowball. But you really need a clear vision for Denadora Mountains, especially.
I agree. Magus is going into Sunburst skip. So he basically tries to save past the guard that's falling down head. That's really good. It's the first try, and then he has to do the second part here. The second part is pretty easy. And he got it as well, so Magus is on fire aside from that missed bird skip. He's been playing really, really good. Definitely PV pace for him. And now we go into the part of the game that's killed the most races this tournament.
Yep.
Denadora Mountains and Masamune. Let's see how both of these guys do. Quick menu here. Give the Berserker to Chrono, Power Globe, and Mirage on Robo. Save and reload, and this is basically what's called Tata skip. And here Magus wants to hit a window, he wants to mash the load, and he wants to hit the first few frames of the load. And in this fight, depending on what damage Chrono does with the Berserker, he's gonna know which strat he has to do. So he hits a 86, which is a 193, and then he attacks with Luca, enters the menu and just waits. If he would have hit a 390 or a 195, you have to do things a little bit different. Just a little bit of a variation in order to get onto the right RNG.
There's no 390, by the way. But,
yeah, I know.
I get credit. Okay, yeah, I know. But yeah,
that's true.
The reason this is a pretty tough segment is we're manipulating the Masumian fight. We're manipulating the target that Chrono will go after with his Berserker, and this needs to be set up using that Goblin fight, and from there on, avoiding all other fights in this area. Otherwise, you have to start back down at your save point and do that fight over again. The reason Masamune really needs to be manipulated, like it's a really big deal, is he doesn't really have any other option. Normally, for the second phase of Masamune, he would start charging up energy, and you need to use a slash in order to dissipate it. But Chrono's berserked, so you don't have that option. He also has chosen not to buy any revives or healing items. Robo has Fast Bird, dude, nice, right on. Ponk got through. Okay, Ponk got through Zombor too. Wow, that was fast. Okay, so they're both in the same area. This is great. If something happens to Magus, Ponk is in the lead, but I don't suppose that'll happen. Let's see.
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm just letting them know.
I've been known to curse certain runners, specifically Ponk in the past, so yeah, I'm not gonna say anything.
Alright.
Okay. Magus gets that fire. That fire can be a little bit tight. Chrono gets a few attacks out. He's gonna hit Luca, if I'm not... No, Chrono. And then you just finish her off with the last fire.
Okay, it looks great. I think they'll both.
This is the easy part.
I think they'll both go for the separate fire and rocket punch strat. I believe that's what they both practice, and that's what they're gonna do. Even though I don't do that. I think it's a little bit risky because of the troll that happens, but it's pretty rare.
I know Ponk started mashing after that. I don't know what Magus does really. I haven't seen him lately. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like this strat here versus the fire punch. Okay.
Yeah, it gets the mash in. So you have a lot of time to do that mash. The thing is, a lot of people sort of stay and read what they're gonna input. You just gotta trust that you're actually on the right things, which you are, if you follow the route through. So yeah, basically you need to input your attacks while Chrono's animations, and you're gonna see he's gonna be waiting certain attacks. You wanna basically juggle Masamune around, so he doesn't hit anybody for a little bit. It's really nice how it works. I think this was you, right, Rick?
Yeah, I did come up with this variation on DD's strat, which is a variation of SNES Warriors.
Yeah, it's a combination of a lot of people. The community is really great. There's a lot of people who worked in this game.
And when I first came out with this strat, Audovino found that little ATB case.
Oh yeah.
That needed to be fixed, and then after that, there's other little problems that are happening. So I don't like to use it in races, but
yeah,
big props. This only saves 3 seconds.
I think Ponk messed up.
I think he might have mistargeted the second fire. I heard a fire sound effect before that reset. Dang, dude. Oh no.
Oh no, I hope he keeps going.
Yeah.
5 for eLmaGus. Low 101 Massa. He's on a pretty good pace right now.
Oh yeah.
Just to say a disclaimer, we cannot use her. Well, eLmaGus audio is desynced, so that's why we're keeping Ponk's on.
Oh, I see.
So Magus just leaving the mountain now, and then Ponks has to climb the mountain again. That's probably like a 3-minute loss or something. Yeah, I guess the Ponk curse doesn't affect Germans.
I still believe.
I believe. I like Ponk. He's put in a lot of work. This tournament actually brought a lot of runners that started playing the game, and right now we have quite a bit that are active in this game, which is really nice compared to other times.
Yeah, it's been cool. I'll be picking it up. I'm surprised how no LSS competition has started heating up.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, we have new runners. Oh man, I can't pronounce his name. Adrana and Talon.
Oh, yeah, it's both.
Yeah, both and they're pretty good new runners.
Yeah.
Magus is actually just buying some things here, and he's actually unequipping his characters. So I guess we never talked about the unequip glitch. So ever since the Yakra skip, we did our first unequip. So basically, if you press up and R in the same frame, you can equip. You can unequip your characters, and if you take off the armor and the helmet, you actually gain magic resistance and you get magic attack. Both of them. That's for the English version. In the Japanese version, you only get magic resistance. You don't get the attack. In the English version, we get magic resistance against water, lightning, and shadow, but we don't get resistance against fire. Fire still hurts pretty hard.
Yeah, and then on the Japanese version, you get the fire resistance in place of the magic attack.
Magic attack. Yep.
But in this category, you're not really going to see any enemies using fire on you, except for Magus.
Yeah, unless you mess up Magus.
Yeah. So Magus, we're really relying on RNG manipulation for him in particular to not get totally owned by his fire spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Ponk going to fight Masamune again. Magus is heading back. He basically got what he wanted. He has a broken Masamune. He needs to go now to Medina Village first, just a little pit stop, and then 65 million pieces.
Okay. I'm a little bit... Oh, okay. It looked like Moss had jumped into Chrono's hair, which is like an indicator that worries me. But I'm not really still good at picking that out. This is something at lunchtime. I was working on solving the monster troll. But I think we'll be okay. Okay. I think he's okay.
You just made me worried.
I was worried.
Magus is gonna have a quick talk with our friend Malkier. Oh, and it's done. Just fade him out. You still get the, you still talk to him, but you don't have to read any of his text. Takes a nice amount of time. And Magus heading to 65 million BC.
Oh man, are we gonna see some mono action here? Ooh, fight?
The only place where Miles useful after.
Right. And Ponk finishing off the monster with the fire punch. Excellent. Okay, so what Magus actually did there was he closed a text box as these reptiles were running across the screen. But he closed it in a certain little window where they will move differently in a battle. So he got them to line up so he could slash two of them. And then he did the antipode.
Yep. So now he's going to do the second part of the fight. It's pretty simple.
Ooh, did he mash too fast there? Okay. With the shorter names, it's possible to mash too fast, and the effect is that you won't be able to slash two of them in the second fight. It looks like that's not a problem. Alright, Ponk will be doing all his de-equips now. And kind of... Oh, hey, and hold on a minute. Okay, there we are. We're just completely, don't mind the right side of the screen where we're acquiring best character.
Worst.
Wow, unbelievable. Alright, there we go. So we're not going to be... Ponk isn't going to be using Robo in any fights coming up soon. He's actually de-equipping specifically for Magus.
Yep.
He doesn't really need the de-equip even for any other fight in Magus Castle. Oh, maybe a rocket roll. Maybe for the rocket roll. But yeah. Okay, and we're coming up on the party here, so we gotta send tomorrow home. Good choice. Fastest choice.
Yeah, she likes to party too hard, so we cannot take her to the party. Robo just dances in his place and then falls asleep real quick, so...
Meanwhile, Ponk is taking Robo out of his team for this scene here to save some text. In Frog's house.
Now Magus has to basically play the soup competition against eLma. And the curious thing about this is, for some reason in this little mini games like the Johnny Race, the eLma mashing soup, Lucas' mom's cutscene for the Green Dream, you have to press the default A. If you switch your A button, for whatever reason, I do it because I like to play with different controls. The game doesn't read that for this mini cutscenes. You have to use the default A button for the controller, which is pretty interesting.
Excuse me for just a second, I have to open a door. Be right back.
So now you wake up with a hangover. Well, I'm sorry. With a tummy ache. As Lucas says. Because they ate so much soup last night. And they stole the gate key, so we have to go get it back. And now we're getting Ayla, which... Luckily in this category, we only use her for around 6 minutes. I don't want to see too much of her. She's gonna be really helpful for this part of the run. With the Berserker, she's gonna deal 400 damage hits on this one, which is really good. And if we manage to, if we go to the fight on RNG, we're gonna be able to get, I think it's 5 crits in the fight, 4 or 5, and that's a lot of crits. It allows us to kill this one in one cycle. Yep, so Magus using the fade out glitch again to skip Kino. So Kino, nobody likes you. And we skip him. We go down. And there's a lot of fights here in the... Oh man, the Forest Maze I think it's called. I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah, there's a lot of fights here. You basically have to follow a certain pattern not to touch any of them. The last one, most notable, is going to be this one. You have to take... to buy it from the left side in order not to trigger the fight.
Hi, what did I miss? Oh, okay. Came back and Ponk's time was stopped, but his whole stream was stopped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just ruled it all. I'm looking for the word. I'm just a little bleep or hiccup. That's what I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we seem to having some difficulties. They're being worked on. Don't worry, guys.
Let's see. So Magus is in the reptile layer.
Yep.
Pretty
Reptile
dark in
layer.
there.
A pretty easy area. You had to do the fights pretty simple, and then fight Nisville, which Ponk told me this story the other time. He actually died at Nisville, and I'm of the firm believer that if you die at Nisville, you should quit playing Chrono Trigger. So.
Wow, that's pretty harsh, but
I'm kidding. I said it for myself. But yeah, Ponk was telling this story the other day, how he remembered that in my tutorial I said, yeah, if I ever die to Nisville, I'll quit the game. And yeah. I guess I lost to Ponk who died to Nisville, so that counts, you know. Okay, so we got Magus back. He seems to be on the right RNG. He's gonna do a quick unequip here, put the Berserker on Ayla, quick shelter, and going on to Nisville. Seems like everything went fine for him in Reptile there.
yeah, de-equipping Ayla is actually not that important, but what he specifically wants is to have the ruby vest so that Frog can wear it coming up. Very important to have the ruby vest in your inventory. LMAO, glitchless.
Not a fan.
Try playing hard mod rando.
Oh,
Say that
that's a
as
good
well.
one. So if you guys don't know, this game has a randomizer. It's pretty fun. Called Eternal Nightmare, right?
Yeah.
And then there's also the hard mod, which is Levels Awakening, if I'm not mistaken, and it makes the game even harder. And eLmaGus and Drunken Draconian are pretty much the people who play the most. And it's actually really fun. I would recommend you playing it, or following Magus and TD to see them play it.
Yeah, eLmaGus and Drunken Draconian have started a Chrono Trigger randomizer group. They have a Discord and things, and they have a weekly randomizer seed. This is not hard mod, it's just the
normal
plain randomizer over the vanilla game, and it's pretty interesting. You can you can find that Discord somewhere.
I'll link it.
I have no idea where to look. Probably in our Discord. You can find it through the Chrono Trigger normal speedrun Discord too.
Yeah. That's the randomizer Discord. If anybody wants to check out the randomizer.
We did it. Good plug, y'all.
So Magus pretty good as well. Low 115 as well, pretty good time. Punk's getting caught up. If you missed it, Ponk had a little bit of a failure. He basically missed the attack. He misselected an enemy and used the fire on a different enemy on the Masamune twins. So yeah, he had to go all the way back, and that's like a 3-minute loss. It's quite a bit. Now Magus is getting into his, I like to call it the sleeping part of the run. You just have to basically clean up a couple things here, get the Masamune, give it to Frog, and then you have like, I think it's like 5.5, 6 minutes of cutscenes before Magus Castle. So this is like, okay, you're doing good in your run. Now you have 5 to 6 minutes. No, yeah, you have a lot of time to think about how you're doing good and why you're gonna screw it up playing Magus Castle.
Yeah,
that happens 100% of the times, and I hate this little lull that happens here. I wish we just went directly in.
Well, we should be racing Forge Masamune RTA. It's not a category on SRL anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
We have no choice but to go all the way to Magus.
Yeah.
But well, if you could hear eLmaGus's stream, there's also we get a little bit of music here, kind of a highly rated track. We'll hear it from Ponk later. Or, I don't know.
So Magus is doing a small fade out here, changing his team. You want to take Robo out of your team? Because Robo actually works here with Melchior. Without Robo, basically make Melchior's work by himself, and it's way faster. You also want to run into him like Magus is doing. Only when he's standing still, that speeds him up.
There's a couple spots. I think while he's walking down here, I think it's pretty good to push into him. Someone should reinvestigate.
Yeah. Yeah, I have never investigated this. I'm going off what we knew, basically, like 3 years ago or whatever. Here, Magus is gonna do a small menu glitch. He's gonna hold start on B. As soon as the screen fades to black, he's gonna press X, and he missed it. But if you get it, you basically don't see the slowly fading into light again. You basically goes straight into the light, and you save like a second.
Yeah, so Ponk is on RNG.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, he's got his various suit vehicles. And cool. So this will be a good fight. Does he do the, I think he does the Quake skip.
Yeah, he does the
Which
good fight.
Based on your timing, ATB can be a little bit different. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit easier than people make it to be.
Oh yeah, it's hard. Oh, okay, so Magus, Magus has an important bird scoop here. He's one pixel short? Okay, got it.
There we go.
He does want to preserve RNG this time around.
Yeah.
For the entire Magus castle section.
If you happen to miss that bird skip, you lose basically 10-15 seconds for the fight, and then you have to save and reload before Magus Castle, so that loses even more time in order to regain your RNG.
Saving and reloading costs a lot of time.
Yeah.
More time than the Japanese version, because on the US version they added like this little extra thing that has to load on the title screen. Ponk's fight is looking good. He's gonna try for a 2 round, only getting one of those electrical discharge from the boss.
now Magus is getting into his cutscenes, so you do have to mash in these cutscenes, you cannot just leave. But this would be the point where the viewers can go take a break, basically.
I don't know, there's a lot of lore here. Like you can speed read.
Yeah, I think the second cutscene is better. Question in chat. Yeah, the tournament is until you beat the first Magus in his castle. It's around 150. The world record for the category is 147.33 by Chrono. Second place is Red Slash with the other 147. And those are the only two 147s we have right now. And then it would be Magus and myself have 148s. Magus is definitely capable of getting 147. I don't know if this run, but skill-wise, pretty good.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're gonna do a little bit of a plug here. So this is the Chrono Trigger Defeat Magus Tournament 2018. This tournament has been running for a few months now, and we're reaching its final stages. This is loser quarters. The winner of this will face Background Guy in loser semifinals. That's gonna probably happen next week here on Speed Gaming as well. So yeah, thank you Speed Gaming for having us.
Thank you very much.
This is the second instance of the tournament. The first one was in 2016. So we hope to do a lot more of this. If you want to keep up with the community, keep up with the runs, you can follow us. Well, you can join our Discord, and basically you can find everything about Chrono Trigger there. We have a bot there that alerts you when people go live. And I would recommend you also to follow these runners. They are very good. Magus, you know, he's really well known. He plays a lot of RPGs, not only Chrono Trigger. And Ponk, just starting Chrono Trigger, he's pretty good, playing it a lot. He's also a pretty good Super Metroid runner, so definitely worth following. And yeah, I guess if you want to follow the commentators, you can follow Red Slash. I no longer stream, but Red Slash has been playing Chrono Trigger and Radical Dreamers, which is the hot new speed game of 2018.
Hashtag Radical Dreamers 2018.
Hashtag Radical Dreamers 2018. Let's go.
Jerry's in on it too.
Oh yeah, I submitted a run. I have the English world record. Red has the JP world record. We're waiting for challengers.
I guess we can, explain that Radical Dreamers is kind of sort of a sequel to Chrono Trigger. It's a side story. It came out a year after, or Septoleview, etc., etc. It's a visual novel. It's a book. But there's random fights in it, so it's exciting. Sometimes you can lose 2 minutes.
And sometimes you can die and don't know why.
Oh, we're talking over the old man's basement theme. Sorry.
Cool. It's a good theme.
It is.
Not the best, but good.
I didn't see if Ponk got the menu glitch.
Yep. Save the 1 second. Punk's, you know, he's coming back. He's coming back.
I'm excited for when Ponk starts to do full game runs.
Yeah.
I think he's undecided if he'll go for any percent or not. I think it depends. I think it hinges on partially on whether there'll be a JP practice hack, which is being planned, but
yeah,
I don't know when that'll happen.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can still practice it without the practice hack.
It's true.
You know, I'm biased against no OSS. It's the one I like watching the most, but any percent's pretty good. So if you guys are kind of new to Chrono Trigger, don't know what we're talking about, we have basically 3 major categories in this game. There's basically any percent, which basically is beating the game as fast as possible. Then we have any percent no LSS, which basically is any percent, but we don't accept level shell skip, which is what LSS means. So we have to actually fight the final boss. And then we have 100%, which is beating all the side quests. And then we have other minor categories. Well, I guess we could add glitchless. There's just not to run. That would be another major category, glitchless. It's 100% glitchless, the one that's there right now. And then we have other minor categories like Magus RTA, New Game Plus,
All endings.
all endings. Only one run there, so I recommend. All endings is a fun run to watch. I don't think it was as fun to run, right, Red? I'm putting you on the spot.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's fun. It's definitely not a very optimized category. It can,
Yeah,
it could theoretically go down another hour. It could be sub 7. But
Yes.
I don't play in longer categories. That's all.
yeah. So if you want to watch all the endings in Chrono Trigger in 7 hours, you can go watch Red Slash's run. Over. You can find it on speedrun.com.
Yeah.
I think it's fun how far this game has come since we started running or at least joined the community in 2014. 100% has come down like 40 something minutes, which is insane.
Oh, now Magus is playing the game. Okay, so he's on RNG. If he gets hit by 19 here, yeah, okay. He's all set for the castle.
Yep.
eLmaGus on the right is ahead. Yeah, so Ponk did use the bird skip in there, so that's unfortunate, but it happens. Ponk will be off RNG.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do a reload. Magus is just gonna be able to go right into it. He's gonna do a safety save? No.
Nah.
I know of a runner that's here with me commentating that actually forgot to put Berserker on Frog for the flea fight, but he got lucky enough that he could actually made a safety save and actually managed to reload and get beat back in RNG. That was a really close race.
Against Chrono Draconian. That was the last race I was in. But eLmaGus won't forget the Berserker.
I don't want to jinx him, but you said it.
He won't. Yeah.
Magus is
speaking of marshmallows, we got a toasty one on the left there.
Oh.
There he goes.
I like that reference.
Making in the finals. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys haven't followed the bracket, Red Slash is waiting on Grand Finals. Drunken Draconian is waiting in Losers Finals, and Background Guy is waiting on Losers Semi-Finals. So yeah. Almost getting to the end. It's gonna be good. Gonna be good.
Yes. If Ponk beats Magus, then he automatically wins the tournament here. That's correct. I mean, I would be too scared to fight him. I would forfeit instantly.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in their right mind would want to challenge that. Ponk has had a lot of opponents forfeit, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you're one of them. I forgot.
Well, I didn't forfeit. I just was like 10 minutes behind mid-race and just didn't continue.
Ponk.
This game can be really punishing sometimes. Really, really punishing.
I should have introduced Ponk as the Jerry Destroyer.
Yeah. Magus is now careful not to get into this fight. I've seen people get into that fight, and I've definitely gotten into them myself at times.
You gotta dodge the moms. It's very bad if you get caught.
I just noticed Magus named Chrono No, and he's still in the lead. The curse might be broken.
I don't think he was aware of the curse, was he?
I don't think so.
I never knew that naming Chrono No was a pretty bad omen.
It's a bad omen. I just made it up, but it's a bad omen.
Well, somebody...
You're losing probably a second in the run because of that. That might as well cost you the race.
No, I heard this from somebody. I think it might have been Adriana. about the no curse.
Oh, so it's actually a thing?
It's a thing, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, if we could all please be silent for Magus, he has a really hard fight ahead.
Need some quiet time here.
This is gonna be close. Okay, so jokes aside, Magus can just basically go to the bathroom. He has a minute and 5 seconds of Frog auto attacking. On one screen, Frog's destroying Flea. On the other one, he's basically dead. So you can see both sides of the spectrum at the same time. Basically, the way this works is Frog and Flea have the same speed, so their attacks are trying to go out at the same time, but Frog takes priority, long story short. At the end, Flea does break out. Right now she's just like smiling or whatever she's doing, laughing. So you have to basically count 16 attacks, or just wait for 4 normal attacks followed by a critical, and then finish her off with the rest of your characters. If we didn't have this kind of manipulation, this fight would actually be hard, but since I started running this game in early 2014, this was the only manipulation we had. I've never actually done this fight legit in the speedrun.
Yeah, when I joined, the route was to fight Slash first and finish with Chrono low health so that he could die quickly in the Flea fight.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was pretty kind of a pain.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, so if you don't know, if Chrono's alive, Flea basically does the stare and basically makes Chrono attacks his teammates, and they hit like a couple hundred on each. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. So, did we talk about the Berserker?
Yeah.
The Berserker is OP in this game.
The end.
So not only is Frog like just about he's a very high level character right now. He's got his really strong sword, and the Berserker actually gives you a plus 50% attack bonus and defense bonus, and it gives you a little speed boost as well. So Frog's normal hits are hitting as hard as a crit from Robo or Chrono. So in fact, we're actually trying to avoid Robo and Chrono stealing the crits away from Frog. It's basically the crit string is already determined. Every time you attack, it increments through the string, and if one person takes the crit, then the other person cannot have the crit. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So this fight is basically scripted out so that we'll be filling in non-crit spaces with Chrono and Robo to advance the string and get more crits in for Frog. Did we get a pet check? We'll do one just for you, McTorsa. Oh dear. Alright, so Ponk's running the halls. He's catching up, dude. 2 rooms away from Magus. Actually, he was in the same room for a moment.
Yeah. Only 5 minutes behind. So Magus is almost done with the first phase. First phase is actually pretty easy. Second phase is when it gets a little bit harder. Not really if you follow the script, but there might be. What I found about the second fight, that sometimes I get lost in the script. There's not a real pattern like there used to be before, so I just sometimes get lost into it. But yeah, as Red explained, same old, just attack and make sure Frog gets all the crits.
Alright, so Ponk remembers the menu. Good. I didn't see if he did a... Oh, well, of course he already reloaded. Okay, so he does have a save to save. Okay, so he dodges the moms. Great. Okay. So the fight that Magus is on right now, it can get a little bit, if you fall off RNG, it can get a little bit hairy at the end, but Slash will not begin to counterattack you until he's under 600 HP,
Yep.
which, as you see, a crit from Frog does 400. So when he's in that phase, you basically want to hope for a crit, and that'll finish the fight off, basically. Blah. Yeah, really, they're not too far apart. This is a good match.
Yep.
Boy, they were really close.
Yeah. Yeah, Ponk made that mistake of losing one hand. Magus has actually played a little bit cleaner, but actually Magus hasn't made any major mistakes. I think his biggest mistake was what, bird skip, basically?
It was a bird skip. There was the power tab fade earlier on. That's not.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but well, we'll see what kind of time he ends up with before I make this assessment. Alright, he gets through Slash.
So, if Magus plays perfectly from now on, he can get a 147. I'm just gonna leave it out there.
Is that the case?
Yeah, he could like barely get a 147.
Okay, you know better the segments than I do.
So we'll see. At least he should be able to beat his PB. And my PB. Oh, he's on... Okay, so the best race time on SRL or ever, it's 148.10. Let's see, Magus is definitely on pace to beat that, so... We'll see if he can beat that.
Was that your time too, by the way?
Yeah, that was my first race.
Dude, that was a great run.
It was really good until Nesbo, and then I lost the minute after Nesbo.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like 40 seconds ahead of your world record at Nesbo, and then you know me.
At board Eric. The answer to that is give us a break. No. Earlier when this category was first made, it was closer to the midpoint of the game, and then the any percent run came down quite a bit. So it's 2/3 now. Can't do anything about it. It's already like the established race category. Since,
Yeah,
like,
so Magus RTA is...
years ago.
Yeah, the race category is around 150, and then we have any percent that's around 230, and then no other says it's around 250, and then 100% is around 430 or 440, and then no endings is around 7 hours. All endings, sorry, no endings. All
No
endings. I forgot glitchless around 5.5 hours or something.
Sounds right.
And then New Game Plus is like 6 minutes.
This is technically right here a no endings run.
Oh yeah, huh. That's true. Well, I mean, as a kid I thought the game was gonna end when I beat Magus, so... Yeah, that's technically the ending for me now. Okay, so this staircase is basically the hardest room. Okay, he's not going for it.
Yeah,
So,
you can't now.
in the race against Red Flash, Magus went for the Wally despawn. So he basically can get past this bird faster instead of waiting. And he failed it, and that basically cost him the race against Red Flash. He was a little bit ahead. That was in winners, semis.
Yeah, I don't feel too good about the outcome of that.
Yeah,
Magus
that's
would have won.
Well,
He
it would
jumped
have been like really tight. So you were basically even.
Well, yeah, so he jumped the gun by 2 frames, otherwise it would have been a lot different outcome.
2 frames.
Yeah, I went back and checked the tape.
So 2 frames make the difference between Red Flash doing racing right now instead of waiting in grand finals.
And see, he's still got a 148, so
Yeah.
Magus is scary opponent.
Yeah, Magus is pretty good. I think he's the only... So you and him are the only ones with... You have 147, Magus has 148. I think that's it, right? That's the only 148 corners.
Oh, on the board?
On the left on the tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Not sure what...
Yeah. I'm pretty sure DD has a 149. The leaderboard has a 151. I'm pretty sure DD has 149. And then background guy, I don't see him on the leaderboard, but I think he has a 150. Might have a 149. I'm not 100% sure.
So Magus is taking care of the jugglers. He's put Luca back in his team.
Actually, Magus didn't submit his PV. Magus RTA PV either. These people, dude, they don't submit to the board and then... Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what to do about that.
We should just DQ them for the tournament. And,
For a long time, we didn't even have a Magus RTA board.
yeah, I know.
I think some people don't even know it's there, to be honest.
I don't think Magus even highlighted his... I think it was 48-14. Might be 48-18. Submitting times is too hard, please.
Right, so Ponk is on script here still.
Ooh.
Okay. Magus squeezes in the door there.
That staircase, if you actually turn up, you actually trigger a fight, so you want to run with Chrono facing to the sides. That's why he, instead of actually trying to just YOLO it and try to go up, you can actually sometimes skip through the fight. He just went back and repositioned.
It looks like Magus did something slightly differently. He's on RNG, but he got 118 on the first switch.
Yeah, so he does the fight, the juggler fight a little bit different to avoid the first crit.
Oh, is that what gives you the 118? I didn't even pay
Yeah.
attention. That makes sense. Okay.
I think that's one of the variations, because if you do if you do it slightly different to avoid the crit, you get like I think I've seen like 121 or something. I'd be completely wrong.
I think it has to be 117 or 18.
Okay.
But yeah, 117 is normal. 118 usually means you're kind of pushing it, like you're almost in the late window.
I see.
No safety save for Magus. All right. Let's check it on down. He remembers to switch to party. Now we've got Magus versus Magus. Ponk is on his heels. Alright, so Magus fight. Talk a little bit about that. Or yeah. I wanna see how Ponk does the guillotines. This is like my favorite room in the game. Ponk, he sheltered up immediately after Slash, so he's at full HP, and he wants to maintain his full HP, so he doesn't want to get hit by any guillotines here, which will do 30 damage to him. Oh, he went for the fast cycle. He got hit. So that's unfortunate, he'll need the shelter, but props for going for the fast strat.
Right, so I lied.
Uh-huh.
I lied. Magus can't do it. Get 147.
Oh, okay. That's alright.
I thought the timing was when you killed him, but if it's on the Neo, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's gonna be close though.
That makes sense, that how you would make. Okay. So Ponk, oh, Ponk just, okay. Whoa, that spooked me a little bit. I didn't realize that Ponk does the no stop pit room. Alright, cool. Good show. Ponk with the traps here. He's only got this last obstacle. And then the fights, and then Magus. So I think, yeah, Magus is on. Okay. So,
do you think Magus will do the Neo Tabina strat that saves half a second? Or...
oh, I'm not sure.
I don't know how to notice it though. I don't know when it starts deviating.
I'm not sure either. I think maybe during the first the 3 slashes.
Maybe. So long story short, we have this Magus strat, which is the fastest one, but it has actually 2 pretty tight switches. That's the first one Magus just did. He did it pretty good. And Ottavino found a little bit of a different version that actually saves half a second and it's easier. This was pretty recent. This was like right before the tournament started, maybe like 3 months ago or something.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at it. I'm too comfortable with the one I go for right now. To learn a whole half second strat change.
I mean, I showed through my 147, but yeah. A possible 147. I'm still mad about it. I will never be not mad.
Oh dear.
Dark matter. You can think, oh, you're gonna die. They have very low HP, but because we have the unequipped glitch, we get a lot of magic defense boost and nothing happens.
Yeah. Frog takes about twice as much damage there because he has a vest on, the Ruby vest. Jade's faster.
Did I lie though? Can Magus get 147? Oh, did I just jinx him? I think I did.
Either way, it'll be entertaining.
Jeez. Why does this always happen to me?
It's alright, Jerry.
I don't do it on purpose.
I mean, you had one job, but hey.
And I did it wrong. Let's see. Yep. Oh boy. That was a 147 indeed.
So you got a second dark matter. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's dead.
One attack off. Oh, nope.
No, it's a...
No, he's dead. 2 103s. You got a 103 off of Chrono and a 103 from Robo.
So GG to eLmaGus, and he is...
Did it mean something?
Oh, 148.11. Pretty good time for eLmaGus. GG's to him. He's moving on to losers semi-finals to face Acorn Guy 02.
Does Magus have the interview link?
The what, sir?
Do you have a link for interviewing?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay. Sometimes it doesn't get sent.
Can we please ignore the I Jinx Magus thing?
Sure, I have something more important to ask him.
Okay, thank you. It was a 147, dude. That was a 147.
Well, he's blaming it on the controller. So,
oh, okay.
So you're off the hook.
Thank you.
Alright, Ponk is going in. I didn't see if he safety saved. Last match he did not. He doesn't need to, but...
And we have the winner here with us. Hey, eLmaGus, congratulations. Pretty good run.
Man, really? Like, I don't know. Thank you, but yeah. So many small mistakes.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this run? The only big mistake we saw would have been the bird skip. And I mean the fade out for the tab at the start.
Yeah. The fade out for the tab is the big one. That's like the big mistake I made this run. Like the burst skip was just kind of like I held left and saw it. That burst skip I always try to go fast. It doesn't matter if I get in that encounter. But yeah, overall the run was really good in the sense that I didn't make any big mistakes, tab aside of course, but like, you know, it was pretty solid, no major hiccups, you know, took a couple things safe. Definitely pretty happy about that. Now, if you look at the details of this run, you'd be very unhappy, but this was such an easy 147, low 147 too. That's the absolute worst part. Like my slime RNG. Did you see the slime? Cody?
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh my god. Yeah, but I mean, I have been practicing for 2 weeks now, so it goes to show, of course. And of course, in that run where I am super rusty, I get like the god slimes. And then I did throw away the 147 at the end there. Like I had it, and then I pressed Y and nothing happened, and then I got another dark matter. That was pretty sad.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, again, overall, I can't be unhappy. Honestly, it's a very solid run. Would have probably, with average luck, would have probably been 148.40 or something. So
Yeah.
that's not too shabby.
So this is a new PB for you, right?
Mm-hmm. For all intents and purposes, yeah.
Is it a race PB?
It should be. It should be. It's a PB in general, so it should be. I guess the goal isn't adjusted, huh?
Well, I mean, RaceBot didn't say anything. I feel like he'd probably have a better time. But who knows? Yeah, excellent. Anyway, excellent time. Holy moly. Good show.
I mean, yeah. Go
I
ahead.
have a question for you though. At the end, did you notice your last two attacks from Chrono Robo were 103s?
I did not.
Do
No.
you think this signifies anything
No.
about the future?
No, please no.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. Just wondering.
I like to play Donkey, but not that much.
There's a new route, bro.
I know. I watched the
Yeah.
whole video.
Same.
So basically, Ponk did a really good job. You both were really close, but he actually started falling behind a little bit for maybe like 20-30 seconds, and then he actually used the fire on the wrong Massa Twin, and he reloaded all the way down, which was
Dang.
basically what caused the big gap.
Okay.
It
Yeah,
was
I
basically side to side, dude.
yeah, I figure. I messed up a couple of things here and there. Hacker and skip one time was the big one. I actually knew that wasn't good, but I still looked it up for some reason. I don't know why. And yeah, the fight I got in before for Zombor, bird skip, all these small things definitely added up.
So yeah, I'm hoping you'll get 147, one of the next races.
Man, like, I mean, I was definitely able to get 147 even with average luck before, but like, you know, and then I get this luck and I can't do it. It's a bit frustrating, but you know,
Yeah, understandable.
I'll keep working on it. I'll get there.
So Magus moves on in this German deathmatch, and now we only have one German left in bracket. We have two from the US, one German, and one Canadian left. Who will take it home?
My bet's on Canada, but I don't know.
Go Canada. I thought DD was from Atlantis.
That's it for Ponk. So GG's for Ponk. He 140, 154, low 154. Pretty decent time considering that mistake.
Oh yeah, that is more than 4 minutes, I want to say. So that would have been PB pace for him for sure.
Yeah, it was actually, you both got like, what was it, 27, 20 Dragon Tank or something. It was a pretty solid start.
Should have been 27-0, but who's counting? Who's counting, dude?
I mean,
Oh yeah.
oh no.
Yes.
No, Ponk.
Oh god. Heck yeah. Are we gonna get him in here?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope he just comes in and so I can kick him out.
Wow.
The Ayla GIF on stream? Really? I'm kidding.
So, let's see. Yeah. Let's see.
Ponk wins.
I don't think there's anything on the schedule coming up after this. If I know.
So here we have Ponk. Hey Ponk. GG.
Hello. Yo, thanks.
GG, dude.
Great
Thank
race.
you. GG, dude.
So Ponk, what did you think about your run aside from that big mistake in the Massa Twins?
I'm not satisfied. I'm pretty happy with the start and the finish. Like, I'm pretty sure my last 3 splits were golds.
Oh, nice.
Couldn't tell because I'm not using blats, but usually. I don't know. I'm happy that I was able to at least partially keep up with eLmaGus for somewhat amount of time. That's pretty cool. I still don't understand end of time save anywhere, but that's alright.
Oh yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, I had a green frame, so I was like, alright, whatever.
Yeah, that was a good frame.
Anyways, I'm really happy that I made it into the top 6, and I'm glad I was defeated in such a fashion by the man himself that this tournament is named after.
I wish I could say it was all skill, but you should rewatch my slimes, dude. That was just disgusting. Filthy, absolutely filthy.
Alright, I'll call Jerry out on that. He promised me 5 greens that I didn't get.
Ooh. I confused the screens and I gave 4 to Magus. I'm sorry.
Alright, word.
I hate to say it, but apart from those couple of mistakes, I think the slimes would have determined the match. From where I'm standing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty big difference.
Yeah, I saved about 40 seconds, and my luck in PB was average, so that's how good they were.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just want to say, Ponk, it's been a pleasure watching your matches and your improvement. You've been putting a lot of work into this, and it's been fun following along with you.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Also, thanks for the help. Obviously,
Yeah,
couldn't be here without the commentators.
Yeah. I just hope you keep doing runs, man, and maybe full game runs eventually.
I mean, I gotta bop eLmaGus at some point, right?
Ooh.
That's free if you do full game runs. That's very free.
Alright,
Actually, it is.
I have a 4-minute reload in my run, so you better get on it.
Alright. Well, yeah, eLmaGus, good luck on background guy.
Thanks. If I play like this, I'm not too worried, but I would like to disable all these small mistakes that I made and hiccups. That'd be nice.
Yeah. So, do you guys have anything else you want to add about this run, about life, whatever?
Go ahead.
I just want to mention that Marl is the best waifu. That's all I have to say.
You agreed.
I agree, but you have Ayla on your screen. I don't know what to think.
I'm still waiting for someone to make a Marl GIF as a metronome, but that didn't happen yet.
Okay.
So, up to that point, no.
I just want to quickly thank you both for commentating. Hope the race seemed to be enjoyable. I'm sure you did a good job. Thank you very much for the restream and the commentary. And yeah, big shoutouts to Ponk, because this game's not easy, and he just picked it up for the tournament essentially. And now he's here, and he should have gotten a sub 150 in a race. That's a no reset run, and this game is impossible no reset. So big shoutouts to you, dude.
Thanks.
I'm awaiting the top 3 in all categories for you.
Alright,
They definitely have potential, so keep at it.
Wow, strong endorsement. Right on. And I want to thank you, eLmaGus, for your participation, your contributions as well to this tournament and everything. And looking forward to your next matches. And I had a lot of fun commentating this one. It was a blast. Thank you, Jerry, for commentating with me.
No problem. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed the race. And be following the speed gaming schedule. Background guy versus eLmaGus next week. That'll be losers semifinals. Winner of that faces Drunken Draconian. Losers finals, and then the winner of that faces Red Slash in the grand finals. So we're getting to the end. So yeah, keep an eye open for the schedule. You know where to follow the runners, the commentators, and yeah, if you want to join our Discord, the links on the chat. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Thank you, everyone.